Hello and welcome to this postnatal video, which is all about finding your pelvic floor. If you've done our first in this postnatal series, it was all about just lying, breathing, and trying to see if you can feel your pelvic floor. I hope you've been doing that video for a while now, and you're now ready to move on to this one and some of the others in our series. It's worthwhile having your 6-week postnatal check before you do this video. But if you are absolutely fine, you can do it at 4 weeks, 5 weeks. You will still be really safe as long as you have your midwife or your GP's permission to do it. Then it's absolutely fine. It's all about how you feel. We will all move at different rates, so it's really up to you and to make sure that it's appropriate for you. So make sure you do get that approval from your medical practitioner. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're sitting on these blocks. I'm kind of straddling them, and the reason for that is because it really helps you when you can't feel a lot down here to find your pelvic floor. You may have seen our pregnancy pelvic floor video. Well, this is the same thing, but I'm going to approach it slightly differently in that now we've had babies, everything does feel a little bit different down there. So it's important that we acknowledge that. So this video is for the pelvic floor, but it's specifically for postnatal. So you're not going to have blocks at home, but you are going to have a load of books. Yeah. So I want you to get about 4 big, the thickest books you've got, and pile them up. You might want to put something slightly soft over on top of those, so maybe like a towel or something. Just make sure it doesn't slide and slip off the books, but something that you can sit on so you feel reasonably comfortable. But you do want a hard surface because you want to be able to feel your sit bones. So I'm going to pull my butt cheeks out the way and just feel my sit bones underneath, and I want you to do the same thing because you want to be able to feel those sit bones. Now, the reason for that is when you can feel those sit bones, it makes it easier to then try and feel your pelvic floor up on the inside of those sit bones. So if you think of your pelvis like a bucket, and think of your pelvic floor being the base of the bucket, there's a rim on the bottom, and that's those sit bones you can feel, and the pelvic floor is up on the inside of that bucket, and it's the base of your bucket. So it's a deep muscle right up inside your pelvis. But if you think about where those sit bones are, your pelvic floor attaches to your sit bones on the inside. And if you think of your pelvic floor like a diamond shape, it attaches to your pubic bone at the front, tailbone at the back, and to those sit bones on either side. Now, when you're looking at the construction of the pelvic floor, if you think of that diamond shape, and then you think of the anus at the back, and then the vagina in the middle, but a bit more to the front. So there's space in between the anus and the vagina is the perineum area here, which is muscle. And then you've got the urethra at the front. So it's anus at the back, a bit of space, vagina, and then urethra at the front. And there's a big muscle that comes from the back that attaches to your tailbone through to the front, just in front of those sit bones. And it's called the levator, and it's a really important part of your pelvic floor. And what I want you to do first off is just try and find this part of your pelvic floor, because generally when you can find that, it's then easier to lift the whole of the pelvic floor up. So it's a really important part of your pelvic floor. Now, to use that part of the pelvic floor, it's good to do that stop a fart feeling. Yep, so it's that stop a fart. But the sensation of lifting your levator muscle, that muscle that comes from the back of the pelvic floor, it's like a scoop from the back. So you're scooping up from the back of your pelvic floor. So think of the inside of your tailbone and imagine there's a little skier on the inside of your tailbone, and the skier is skiing off the inside of your tailbone, off the end of your tailbone, and coming up and into your tummy. Now, the pelvis doesn't move when you do that. You're not tucking. Yep. So just feel those sit bones and keep those sit bones in place. And be sat on them with your back up nice and tall, and be conscious of your head position and be conscious of your shoulders. In fact, give them a little shake. That's probably the best thing, because you don't want them to get really tense and tight. So just shake them out, relax them, and take a few breaths for me, inhaling and exhaling. So inhale and exhale. And as you exhale, get that feeling of sinking and relaxing, because we want to get rid of some outer tension, and we tend to carry a lot of tension in the head, neck and shoulders. So again, breathe and exhale and just relax, and then do that again. Inhale and exhale and relax. And as you feel your shoulder blades come down and you feel your diaphragm relax, like we did in the first video, think of the fact that your diaphragm is coming in as the rib cage comes in, and that's the point at which your pelvic floor lifts up. But when you go to try and feel your pelvic floor, I want you to do that stop or fart feeling, and I want you to scoop it up from the back of your pelvic floor and into your belly. So let's try that right now. So take a nice big deep breath in for me. Inhale. Feel the rib cage expand, and then as you exhale, feel the rib cage come in, stop a fart from the back, and scoop up that feeling and into your tummy. Yeah? And then let it relax. And just let go for a little bit. And remember, you're keeping your spine tall, you're not tucking as you do that. So just keep the pelvis sit bones on your blocks or on your books, and then do that for me again. So take a nice deep breath, inhale, and then exhale, and then scoop up from the back of the pelvic floor, stop a fart from the back, scoop it up and into your tummy. And then let it relax. Now put your hands on your tummy and see if you can feel your tummy coming in. So take a breath, inhale, exhale, relax, and then just do that scoop up from the back of the pelvic floor into your belly and lift up, and see if you can feel that pelvic floor lifting up from the back and into your tummy, and then let it go. And we'll do that again. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, relax, and then do that scoop up from the back of the pelvic floor and into your tummy. And then let it relax. Well done. Fantastic stuff. Now we want to find those muscles that work around the front. Now if you think of these muscles like a small diamond inside the big diamond. So think of a small diamond at the front of your pelvic floor. Yep. So there's your big diamond, and then there's a small diamond inside it. Now this small diamond is inside of it is the vagina and the urethra. So these muscles that we're going to contract kind of come around these two areas. And it's a bit like you're stopping yourself going for a wee, but imagine pulling the four corners of that small diamond up and underneath your chin. Now lean forward a little bit so your butt cheeks come away from your blocks or your books. Take another breath, inhale, exhale. Stop a wee from the front, and it's like you're pulling up the four corners of that small diamond and suctioning it up and underneath your chin, and then let it come back down. And then do that again. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, relax, and then pull the four corners of the diamond up and underneath your chin, and then let it come back down. And again, do that again. So take a breath, inhale, exhale, relax, and then pull the four corners of that diamond up. So stop a wee, pull it all up underneath your chin, and you'll feel your tummy coming in a little bit as well. That's all good. And then let it come back down. Okay, let's do that again. So stop a wee, pull up and underneath your chin, and then let it come back down. And then do that again. Now this feeling can be a lot weaker than that feeling at the back. Not necessarily, but it might feel a bit weaker. It's a smaller muscle area, so there's less of an area to pull up. So it's a small area around the front of the pelvic floor. So you're stopping a wee and lifting it up and then bringing it back down. Now as you're doing that, just sit more upright. So as I asked you to sit forward, have a think about whether you can feel those sit bones coming up. So stop a wee again, stop a wee, and see if you could get a sensation of those sit bones coming up and in together and up and inside you. It's quite hard, so don't worry if you can't feel it, but feel where the sit bones are. Stop a wee, lift up, see if you can feel those sit bones coming up and in and inside you, and then let it come back down. Okay, now here's the biggie. We're going to pull everything up together. So we want a sensation at the back passage, the front passage, but also those sit bones coming in as well. Can we try and do that? It's hard, I know. Let's have a go. So take a nice big deep breath for me. You always take an in breath, and then you try to focus on the lift of the pelvic floor and the out breath, because that's when the pelvic floor should be naturally lifting up anyway. So you're going with the actual natural movement of your pelvic floor. So take a breath in for me. Inhale, exhale, relax, and then stop a fart from the back, stop a wee from the front, pull those two feelings together and feel the sit bones coming up and in and inside you, and then let it come back down. And if that's too much to think about all those different things, just think of the big diamond. Think of a piece of string attached to each corner of the big diamond, and they're being pulled up and inside you like an upside down parachute, pulling up and inside you. Yeah. So let's try that again. Take another big deep breath. Inhale, exhale, relax, and do that scoop up from the back of the pelvic floor. Do that suction in from the front, pull the sit bones in. It's like it's all coming up together and inside your vagina, and lifting up and in, and it's like you're pulling all of that area up inside your vagina and up and up and up and up, and then let it relax. Now at the moment I don't expect you to be able to pull up and up and up and up, but eventually we want to be able to feel it lifting, and there's an exercise called the lift where you try and lift your pelvic up 5 floors. At the moment, I just want you to do this as a monitor to see how many floors you can get up. Please don't worry if you can't get up even to 1, it doesn't matter. But you're going to try and get up to wherever you feel you can, and then you're going to do this as an exercise. You could do it every single day, and if you came back to this video every single day, that would be brilliant. And just do these exercises and see if you can feel your pelvic floor. Or you could go into any one of our pelvic floor workout videos and do those to help you get stronger. So let's try it right now. So take a breath, inhale, exhale, relax, and then you're going to stop a fart from the back, stop a wee from the front, pull those 2 feelings up and inside you, pull up and pull up and pull up inside your vagina and up, and then up is as high as that last up is as high as you can go, and then you let it go back down. Now I'm going to count the numbers this time so you can see how many numbers you can come up. So take a breath, inhale, exhale, relax, and then stop from the back passage, stop from the front, pull the sides in and go up, and that's 1, up 2, up 3, up 4, up 5, and then let it come back down. I'm going to do it one more time. Have a think about how high you can get up. So take another breath, inhale, exhale, relax, and then stop a fart, stop a wee, pull up and pull up and pull up and pull up. I think that's 4, and up if you can, another up. You probably can't, but I think I've done that in the right number of ups. And then let it come back down and relax. Well done. Okay, now I'm just going to take you into a position to relax. So I'm going to just take my blocks out the way. You can do the same with your books, and then just take the hands out in front. And we did this in pregnancy as well, in the Powerful Pregnancy. And then just relax down. And you might find, I wouldn't use a book, but you might want to get a cushion. And you might find you need to be able to relax. You need to put it underneath your head. Now just hold this position and relax and breathe. And just allow your back to relax. And then from here, we're going to bring the knees in and then go into a child's pose. And just put your hands on either side, and again you might need to put your head under a cushion. You might find you can get to the floor, but probably best to have a cushion at the moment. And then breathe and relax. And as you're breathing, really focus on the movement of your diaphragm out to the back. So inhale and exhale, relaxing and releasing. And do that again, inhale, exhale, relax. And do that for me about 3 more times. Again, try to prolong your out breath. So as you inhale, you feel the diaphragm pressing into your thighs, and then as you exhale, you try to allow the diaphragm to come in and down and in and down and in and down and in and down. Now, again, like with our first video, it's really good to try and do this video at least once a day, so if you can come back to it. Or you can also now try some of the other pelvic floor workouts in our series. We've got a 5-minute and a 10-minute workout that you can do, so any of those videos are great for you to do early postpartum from 4, 5, 6 weeks onwards. It's entirely up to you. When you feel ready, you can do this one nice and early on. Well done.